out for me, John.
Police, Daniel, we've come for the boy.
Come on, there's the not taking up. Get away from him! Get away from him! Get away from him! Run out! Alfie, run! Run!
Daniel! If Alfie doesn't get his operation, he will die!
What are you doing? I've been treating him! I've been treating him! Alfie! You can't do this to him! You can't do this to him!
It shouldn't be much longer.
We didn't want this.
If you'd let him have chemotherapy, it would never have come to this.
I've been treating him!
With water, Daniel. That won't do anything for him. Alfie has a tumour.
It would have worked. Why else would the spring have started running when Alfie got sick? It was a sign from nature. What is it?
I'll be back. Seems to be the problem.
Where was this tumour supposed to be, Dr. Williams?
It's on his left kidney.
I have the left kidney under my fingertips as I'm talking to you. It's immaculate.
But that's impossible. I did the ultrasound myself. I saw the tumour with my own eyes.
Well, it's not here anymore.
Bloody red-top rags. Why do they have to exaggerate? Half of what you read these days is made up. The other half might as well be.
I know, and even half of what you see in page 3 these days is artificial.
No, I am sorry, David. I'm not prepared to accept some half-assed MI6 theory without a bit more credibility.
We will be able to find people to substantiate our claims.
Do you remember when Colin Powell stood before the UN Security Council and tried to persuade the world that some satellite pictures he had of crappy old vans were in fact decontamination trucks in Iraq? It was discredited before he even sat down.
We're not the Americans. That won't be happening here.
We shall see. I'm going to test your theory, David. Ian.
Alistair.
Thanks for coming over. I need your help in here a minute. Ian, this is David Collins and his colleagues from MI6.
Hello.
This is Professor Hood, who's the science advisor to the government.
Professor Hood? Gary.
We're having a bit of a disagreement about something, and I was hoping you could offer your advice.
These pictures were taken over a hostile country which we've long suspected of running an illegal nuclear weapons program. Those structures that you see there are nuclear missile silos.
Where are the cooling systems? I'm not an expert in this, but I would say that these more closely resemble storage tanks for liquids or bulk powders.
What?
Well, this is the desert, isn't it? And why would you think anyone would be so stupid as to put a nuclear missile inside a tin oven like that? I would have thought you could all see that for yourselves. Or, am I missing something? Excuse me.
Thank you, Ian.
What the hell was all that about? Is that man a moron or what?
They like to fly kites at MI6. We like to shoot them down.
Using me as the ammunition, eh?
How are you now?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm sorry I never made it to Ellie's funeral.
I got the card.
Sir, I was just wondering if there's anything I should know about Professor Hood's current threat level.
You get our weekly briefing, don't you? Yes, young?
No, I don't. I don't have clearance.
Oh, of course, I forgot.
Alistair is an old friend. I'm sure he would tell us if there was something to worry about.
Of course.
So there's nothing.
Nothing worth throwing the toys out of the pram about, no.
Excuse me.
You headed back to the office, are you?
No, we are going to Clayton, Yorkshire.
Are we?
I'm sorry.
There's a doctor in Clayton who is claiming that water cures cancer. I thought I should go up there and straighten him out.
And you're going to Clayton?
You know it?
We used to holiday there when I was a boy.
Well, hold on to it. Lunchtime reading.
So, Alfie, you understand that you're not in any kind of trouble?
Yeah?
Good. Now, did Dr. Williams give you any pills or treatment whilst you were ill?
The water from her spring cured me. We believed in it. So it cured me. Dr. Williams, you can go in now.
Please.
Dr. Williams? Dr. Williams?
Hello? Dr. Williams, we need you to sign this.
What is it?
A statement saying that Alfie's tumour cannot have been cured by water.
So what did cure him then?
Perhaps it was something he ate.
Daniel had Alfie on a starvation diet. I don't like this any more than you do, but it has to have been the water.
I still don't see why it's important enough that we need to get ourselves involved.
It's important enough because there's already a perfectly good treatment for the kind of tumour that this lad has. Now, if because of this rubbish, people stop taking it, then lives will be lost that needn't be. Stop!
Hood, we don't even know where she's going.
No, we know exactly where she's going. Hello, dear. Can we give you a lift? We're going in your direction.
I don't keep as well as I used to.
Really?
Thyroid cancer. The chemotherapy doesn't seem to help at all.
Where is it you're going?
Clayton. I'm going to take a cure at that spring, like that little boy did.
Yeah. How did you know?
Her walking stick is hospital issue. Didn't think she was going hiking. Bloody hell. Shysters. Snake oil sellers. Confidence tricksters. Placebo merchants.
What makes you so sure that none of this works, then?
Because when Ellie was sick, we tried almost every one of these, none of them worked.
You feel this water flowing through your body. Visualize all the toxins being flushed away.
Or equally, you could visualize any hope of a recovery being flushed down the toilet.
Hey, this is a healing spring.
Oh, you have evidence of that, do you?
Yeah, I do. It started running the same time my son got sick.
Oh, my mistake. Of course, that proves it then, doesn't it? On with the visualization. Load of bollocks. They're being duped, you know.
I know. Can we not just get public health to close this place down?
Rachel, it's private land. Unless there were a health hazard here. Instead, what we got is a shabby circus.
What are you doing?
pH paper. Tests the acidity of water.
Right. And?
pH 7.
That means nothing to me.
Neutral. Along with this millweed, it tells us there's nothing in this water that shouldn't be there.
Take it easy.
I just seemed to slip.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
What's wrong?
She fell.
Have you got a first aid kit of any description?
Don't believe in Western medicine.
Oh, for God's sake, what's not to believe about a sticking plaster?
What do you think you're doing?
I'm going to sample the wares. Hope you don't mind.
Well, of course I mind. You'll interfere with the healing ore if you do that.
Get me a bottle of that water.
Can we not just wait till we get to the inn?
Not to drink, to sample.
I thought you've just said there was nothing in it.
Oh, I did, I know, but we've got an acronym in science. SEAT. Sample everything all the time.
The things I do for you. What's wrong? I thought you were hungry.
I was.
There you go.
Thank you.
See, I can't even get this right.
What?
If I wanted a fizzy drink that tasted vaguely of lemon, I would have ordered lemonade.
Well, what's the problem?
What I asked for was water.
Take the bit of lemon out.
It'll still taste of lemon.
So, what brings you folks to Clayton?
We're reviewers for the Michelin Guide.
Oh, we're here to visit the spring.
Oh, that little lad that got cured.
Yeah.
Load of hippie nonsense, if you ask me. Still, it's been great for business. Didn't get many tourists coming for the fertiliser plant, I can tell you. Well, bon appetit. Let's see clean plates all round, eh?
Oh.
Dad?
Yeah?
Will Mrs. Evans be all right?
Well, you were all right, weren't you?
Yeah.
What if Mrs. Evans drinks our water, she believes in it, then she'll be all right too, won't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. She would just go to sleep. Good night.
Good night.
it was maybe something in this, do you?
Oh, Rachel, don't tell me you drank that.
You told me there was nothing in it yesterday.
There isn't. But how can I conduct an experiment if my assistant keeps chugging back the samples all the time?
Not your assistant. I'm your protection officer.
Whatever. Anyway, it was much more likely something in the shepherd's pie that made you ill.
I'm sorry, visiting hours aren't until this afternoon.
I need a minute with Mrs. Evans. You're Dr.
Williams. Friend or relative?
You're Dr. Williams.
Yes, what were you expecting?
They don't make them like this anymore.
Why don't we get straight to the point?
Sorry?
If I knew what was in that water, I wouldn't be selling it to whichever drug company it is that you represent. I would be shouting it from the rooftops so we could all benefit.
I'm Professor Ian Hood, a government science advisor.
The Ian Hood.
What were you expecting?
So, you've come to disprove the boy's case and show me up as a fraud.
I really think you should not have proclaimed it as a miracle cure.
I didn't proclaim anything. I simply and maybe mistakenly presented the facts as they are.
Then you wouldn't mind me seeing the boy's medical records.
Of course I'd mind. They're confidential.
How's Mrs. Evans?
I'm sorry?
She's a cancer patient. She was brought here after collapsing at the spring.
Well, that hardly narrows it down. Cancer patients. They've come from all over to drink the spring water.
How the hell did they manage to get here in this condition?
They didn't.
What?
Most of them are reasonably well when they arrive in Clayton.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that there's something in the spring water which is making them sicker.
Sicker? But you said that it cured Alfie.
I can't explain it either. But what it does tell me is that whatever's in the water must be pretty powerful.
Oh, she's still drinking it.
Yes, well, to take it from them would be theft. They're patients, not prisoners. We can't stop them.
Oh.
Come on, you just got to take the water. It made me better.
I know it made you better. Would it make me better?
Oh, God.
How are you feeling?
Pretty ropey.
Did you see Dr. Williams?
Uh-huh.
What did he say?
She says there's something in the water at Clayton Spring.
Of course she does.
She thinks it's making people sick.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Hood, I've been drinking this water.
Well, she claims that it's only affecting cancer patients who are on chemotherapy.
Well, probably because they're the only ones that have actually drunk it. Apart from me. God knows what I've been drinking.
Well, I doubt if God has any idea what you've been drinking. Science, on the other hand, may be able to tell us.
Hi. Hi, Alfie.
Hiya.
The doctor's faxed through your notes.
So you know what a hopeless case I am.
Oh, come on.
Well, your tumour markers are up. And I have to admit that it's very unlikely, as you probably know, that we can cure you. But if you did take the chemotherapy, it might give you...
It might give me the chance to spend a few more months dying by myself.
You'll get better.
Dr. Williams.
Excuse me a minute.
Yes, I've called a press conference for this afternoon. If you want to continue working here, you'll think very carefully about what you're going to say.
Am much further is it?
Spring can be fed from anywhere above it in the water table. We've got to go right to the top of the valley, work our way down. First, we test the reservoir, then the fertilizer plant. The water from either could be leaching into the spring.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Hypothesis, experiment. Result, absolutely neutral. You see, exactly what it should be. Now, Dr. Williams' hypothesis is that there is something in this water that cures cancer and makes people sicker. Now, this prove there's nothing in this water but water. Thank you very much. And that will put an end to all this nonsense of water curing cancer. You all right? Can you manage?
I can manage. I'll drive.
Oh, feeling better?
Not really, no, but I don't think my body can take any more of your driving. No offence.
Oh, that's lovely. Hey, Rich, head down there a second.
Why?
Yeah, just go on.
Oh, yes, wait, I remember. Sample everything all the time.
You know, we'll make a scientist of you yet.
I'll just watch from here, okay? Good. Don't fall in.
That's visiting over now.
Already?
I'm afraid so.
I don't want to go. I don't want you to go. Oh, Alfie. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Chance to sneak around a hydroelectric plant.
Speechless!
You know what? This is going to be the architect for the ages. It's not the cathedrals and the churches that will survive us. It'll be hydroelectric plants, motorways, nuclear power stations. Isn't it fantastic?
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
We were just intrigued.
Well, 50% of us were, anyway.
Our tours are on Tuesday. I'll show you around myself, but...
All that water upstairs isn't going to turn itself into electricity, is it?
We'll find our own way out.
Hood, where are we going now?
Down the watercourse to the fertilizer plant.
We're nearly there yet. sure this place is open? But never mind curing cancer. This looks like the kind of place they actually manufacture it.
What do you expect, Rachel? It's a fertilizer plant. We need to test that water. There's nothing. Come on.
So what have you got to show me, eh, Alfie?
Thought she could stay with us. She'll never get better if she stays in the hospital.
Oh, I am sorry. I shouldn't have come.
Mrs. Evans, you don't look very well.
No.
I think we need to get her a drink of water, Alfie, eh?
Yeah?
Oh. Come on.
Told her it'd be all right.
Oh.
Well, that's just the minerals in it.
Doesn't normally taste as bad as that. Oh.
It doesn't taste right, Dad.
I'm not happy with all this. What does that mean?
Well, there's something in this water. And it's pretty strong.
Dad? Dad?
Mrs. Evans.
When did the spring at Clayton come to your attention?
Roughly 4 weeks ago. And why has there been no investigation until now?
Well, so Dr. Williams, you're now saying the water didn't help this boy?
I'm saying we found nothing to support the suggestion that it could have helped him.
Is there any evidence the water has helped anyone else?
No, quite the opposite, in fact. Drinking the water at the Clayton Springs has made a lot of people considerably worse.
What? So you are saying that the water does do something?
Yes, I suppose I am. But, I must insist that people don't drink the water. We're very concerned about this. And, it's being investigated at the highest level.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Professor Hood, the government science advisor, is here.
There goes our anonymity.
Dr. Hood, what do you think about us being here?
We have no comment at the moment. I'm very sorry, we have nothing to say.
When the investigation
Thank you very much for your time, everybody. Thank you. No more questions, please.
I didn't mean to hurt her. I just thought the water would make her better like me.
There's another 3 on the way.
From the spring? Any of the others fitting like this?
All of them.
Excuse me, Alfie.
More cancer patients from the spring.
Yes, and I'm afraid one of them was your Mrs. Evans.
Thought she was already here.
She absconded with Alfie, drank some more water and started fitting at the spring.
See, if someone had actually drunk some of that water accidentally, should they be worried?
What are your symptoms?
I don't actually have any.
Then I expect you'll be all right. Is that why you two are still here?
No, we took some samples. We wondered if we might use your lab.
It won't show anything. I've tested the water dozens of times.
Did you take samples from the fertilizer plant?
Yes, of course. It was clear.
From the fertilizer plant, organophosphates.
What? That's impossible. I tested the water last week and there was nothing in it.
What's organophosphates?
It's a byproduct of fertilizer manufacture, some of the vilest chemicals known to man.
Oh. This accounts for people falling ill at the spring, but it doesn't explain Alfie's recovery.
If Alfie ever had a tumour in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the one thing that doesn't fit in, and we only have your word for it.
Of course he had a tumour. How can I convince you that the organophosphates are a new addition?
Well, you'd have to find a sample that was taken some time ago. One that you couldn't have tampered with.
And where are we going to find one of those?
I think one is about to find you.
Okay. Somebody needs to tell me what I've drunk.
Yes, that's right. Immediately. Thank you very much. Environmental Health are closing down the spring.
Well, that's a start.
Organophosphates were a new addition.
Well, thank God for that.
Well, this doesn't change anything. It could still be an intermittent leak.
Oh, great. That's all I need.
Dr. Williams.
Professor Hood, this is...
Yes, we've actually met.
You have? Right.
Dr. Williams, you're being suspended from your post pending an inquiry.
Well, Claire, this is absurd. What about my patients? I'm responsible for them.
We've had time to make alternative arrangements. You'll need to leave the premises immediately.
You. What do I need to do to get your help?
Well, perhaps you could stop hiding things from me for a start.
And what am I hiding?
Alfie's medical records, for one thing. It'll take me all night to read through these hospital records.
You asked for them.
You know, St. Teresa knew what she was talking about when she said there are more tears shed over answered prayers than unanswered ones.
Armed police, freeze. Sorry, sir.
Sir,
What on earth? I've come to escort you back.
what are you talking about?
We've received a credible threat.
Oh, excellent. And no one actually thought to tell me. See, bloody spooks. How am I supposed to protect him if no one is actually going to tell me anything?
Rachel.
Sorry, but someone should have told me.
Perhaps we didn't want it announced on television.
So who was it?
You're leaving town anyway, so what does it matter? Fine. It was the animal rights lot.
Oh, well, I'm not going.
I beg your pardon?
I will not be pushed around by those
For
people.
God's sake, Ian, your location has been compromised. You're in great danger. They're probably on their way here now.
Let them come. I've got a job to do, Alistair. I'm going to do it.
If anything should happen to you, I won't be responsible.
I should hope not.
Morning. Anything interesting in there?
It's all perfectly plausible. There's the ultrasound, of course, but very difficult to fake that.
So we'll be heading back today then, yeah?
When has there ever been a credible threat that came to anything? It's probably just some teenager going through a militant vegetarian phase.
Well, I think it's going to be something a wee bit more serious than that if Drake is going to drag himself all the way up here.
Alistair is just feeling guilty because he was too busy fabricating dossiers to come to Ellie, my wife's funeral. Oh, Rachel, come on. That water's piped straight from the reservoir.
Well, it might well be, but I just don't want to take any chances, OK?
Morning.
Morning.
Day. Full of snap, crackle and pop this morning, are we, sir? That's the way.
Rachel, I want you to kill him. Organophosphates.
They were introduced yesterday. So something else in the water is making the patient sicker.
If Alfie had a tumour, this still doesn't explain his recovery.
If we put our heads together, I'm sure we can work out what's been going on here. Maybe over dinner?
Do you think it'll help? No, it's all right. You don't have to do that.
No trouble. Especially not on a night like tonight, eh?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
There you go, love. Get yourself comfortable. See if you can't cheer him up a bit, eh?
I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I can prove to you that Alfie had a tumour and that I'm not mad or negligent.
How can you prove it?
Cancers secrete proteins called tumour markers. We can detect these in the blood.
Yeah,
and-
my wife died of cancer. I know what tumour markers are.
Right. I'm sorry. The point is they stay in the bloodstream for up to 6 weeks after a tumour dies.
And you saw Alfie's tumour after the ultrasound?
4 weeks ago.
Well, we'll do the blood test tomorrow. And if it shows that he had a tumour, we'll be left with a miraculous recovery related to drinking water. Anything else?
There's just the little matter of a ward full of chemotherapy patients now sicker than when they arrived.
How can chemo patients get sicker?
You mean apart from more chemotherapy?
Could it be that simple?
No. Any chemotherapy drugs present in the water would show up on the tests.
Ta-da!
Hello? You still here?
With the level of threat Hood is currently facing, of course I am. How are you getting on with persuading him to return to London?
Well, it's not really my job to tell him where to go, is it?
Of course it's your job. You're his protection officer.
What are you implying?
Professor Hood is in grave danger here. Your first priority must be to remove him. And if you don't succeed, it will be noted.
So what do you suggest to do? Bundle him into the Land Rover at gunpoint?
That would at least be a start. D.S. Young.
Chemotherapy works by...
Here we are. Enjoy.
Thank you. Chemotherapy works by killing cells, yes?
The idea is that it kills the tumour cells slightly faster than it does the healthy ones.
So what if there was something else in the water that was also poisonous to cells?
But we've tested the water for every chemical known to man.
No, not chemical. What if it was something that you use regularly to kill cells? Then that would explain why Alfie recovered, why your chemotherapy patients got sicker.
You can't mean radiation.
Radiation is the only logical possibility, isn't it?
I know you're only doing this to prove me wrong.
Right, well, I will have the ministry send down a Geiger counter tomorrow.
If you promise not to call it that, we can use mine.
A Geiger counter?
There you go again. Hans Geiger was an arch-Nazi who doesn't deserve the posterity.
What do you call it, then?
A radiation detector. Now, do you think we can eat our dinner before it gets cold?
Do we really have to?
How was your date?
It wasn't a date. It was a dinner meeting.
A dinner meeting?
Yes.
What, with a woman that you don't know very well?
Yes.
And at this dinner meeting with this woman that you don't really know very well, did you maybe drink wine?
Yes.
Well, it was a date. Do you want to call in for your girlfriend?
No. Hi.
Bloody radiation. Is that what's caused my headache?
Only if you'd had a headache for most of your working life.
What do you mean?
It's background radiation. It comes from uranium in the earth. It's perfectly natural. Certainly doesn't account for Alfie's recovery.
So that's it then. So want to take his blood sample?
Well, there's really no point, is there? I mean, even if we found tumour markers, we've excluded from the water everything that could explain the lad's recovery.
And you'd have to assume I was secretly treating him.
Bloody hell, Rachel. I know you want to leave earlier, but this is ridiculous. What is it?
Sir.
Who did this to her?
She did it to herself. She couldn't live with the shame of making the whole thing up. There was never any tumour. She was just doing it to get attention.
What? Why do you say that?
There was a note in the car. She mentions you.
You should have the police check Alfie for tumour markers.
What?
Well, no doubt the Alternative Medicine Brigade are going to be screaming conspiracy about all of this. It'll take more than this note to convince them that she made it all up. We're going to have to prove it to them.
And these tumour markers?
If Alfie had a tumour, tumour markers will be in his bloodstream for the next 2 weeks.
Right. Well, I'll see that's passed on.
Come on, let's go.
And our condolences do, of course, go to Dr. Williams's family at this terrible time. Clearly, however, she was a very sick woman, the extent of which is only just coming to light. Daniel?
Alfie never had a tumour.
What?
Dr. Williams was paying us money to pretend that he did. I saw no harm in it. But she never told us that they were going to do an operation on him.
I don't know.
I've got nothing else to say to you.
Thank you!
Rachel, would you take a pipette with you if you were going to kill yourself?
I tend to think my gun might be a more effective choice.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. You had a pipette with you. You were going to take samples.
Listen, Dr. Williams was the kind of woman that made Geiger counters in her spare time. She probably just had that in her pocket.
Radiation detectors.
Yeah, radiation detectors.
Professor Hood was the scientist who exposed the lie. I would like him to have my Geiger counter. Rachel, she never used the term Geiger counter. She always said radiation detector. Turn us around, we're going back.
Do you really think that somebody killed her?
I'm absolutely convinced of it.
So what do we do now?
I want to do what I should have done yesterday. Take a sample.
Of what?
Alfie's blood.
Oh, you got to help me, please. You got to help me. I'm really worried.
Daniel? What's going on here?
There's nothing going on. Just go away.
Where's Alfie?
He's just gone to stay with my mother, that's all.
Come on, Daniel. Where's Alfie?
If someone has taken Alfie, your best chance of getting him back is to tell us. Look, the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for us to find him.
They should have given him back already. For saying what I said at the hospital, that was the deal.
Who's got him?
I don't know.
What did you say at the hospital?
I said that Alfie had never had a tumour.
But he did have a tumour.
Well, of course he had a tumour. The water cured it.
Daniel, can you think of any reason why they wouldn't have returned Alfie?
They said they were going to keep him for another fortnight.
Why would anyone kidnap a child for 2 weeks?
Because that's the length of time it'll take for the tumour markers to disappear from his bloodstream.
No, you can't tell anyone. They'll kill him. They'll kill him just like they killed Dr. Williams.
Listen, Daniel, I want you to come with us to our hotel. And we will find Alfie. But you can't stay here. We'll be safe here. All right.
Okay.
Where to now?
Dr. Williams' house.
Okay.
We're only going to find Alfie by finding out what's in that water.
Okay. What is it we're looking for?
Any sign of a struggle?
How would you tell? My God, what was she cooking?
Oh, she was conducting an experiment.
Hmm?
Clayton Reservoir. Clayton Spring. Hypothesis, experiment, result, hypothesis, experiment, result. Oh, come on, Doctor, where the hell was your result?
What's going on?
Oh, no, it's okay. DS.
No, that's all very well, man, but you know you shouldn't be in here anyway. Please. Ma'am.
Ian? I thought you left the village.
Likewise.
G.S. Young, you're supposed to be protecting him. When I tell you there's a credible threat, I mean that there's a credible threat.
Alistair, leave her out of this.
Fine. Do you know what I think? I think you're taking this too personally.
You know, you could be right.
Good. Why don't you go home? Take a few days off.
Excuse me, would you mind moving your car so we can get out? We're not actually going, though, are we?
Of course we're not. Alistair was the only person I told about the tumour markers.
Do you really think he could be responsible for Alfie's kidnapping?
I think he's been lying to us from the beginning.
Oh, good evening, sir. They said you were back. Couldn't keep away from the place, eh?
Could I just have a glass of water, please?
Oh, yes, of course. One glass of water. Coming up. You get up to the spring?
Yes.
Lovely views up there, aren't they? What have you done with the girlfriend, then?
Cracked her off.
Here we go. One glass of lovely water.
Oh, no, I didn't, doesn't matter.
Don't smile a lot, does he?
Hey, Daniel. We're gonna find them, okay?
You should be out there looking.
Now listen to me. I know that this waiting around is really difficult, okay? But the best thing we can do at the moment is just to give Professor Hood just a little bit of time. Listen, he is a brilliant scientist, okay? And I know that it's not going to be long until we have some sort of lead.
Of course!
What's going on in here?
They put lemon in my water.
Oh, Hood, take it out. Put it in the bin or something.
I did, but it still tastes of lemon.
Is that not the point? Is that not what it's supposed to do?
Yes, that's the point. Whatever was in the spring water isn't there anymore, so it must be something else.
But Hood, we have tested that water for everything that we can think of. Maybe it's just water.
Right, just water. There were ice trays in Dr. Williams' kitchen, weren't there?
Maybe she was just having a drink.
Yes, and maybe not. Spring water.
Tap water.
Tap water. Daniel! Daniel! How did the water make Alfie feel?
What?
The water from your spring. How did he feel when he drank it?
Terrible.
What do we do now?
I think we should go buy Daniel a drink. Come on. What's the one thing we know about ice?
It's cold and it floats.
Tap water. Spring water. It's called heavy water because that's exactly what it is. It has an extra neutron in it.
What, and one single tiny wee neutron can make all that difference?
And it has a higher freezing and boiling point. And it's used in the manufacture of plutonium.
Plutonium? What, as in nuclear weapons plutonium?
Turn left here.
To the fertilizer plant?
The only reason to leak organophosphates is if you're trying to cover up something else, something much worse.
So, listen, see the fact that I drank this heavy water, I mean, is that going to have any...
It doesn't matter. Think of it as putting a drop of diesel into a petrol car. If the tank's already full, it really won't do much harm.
Nice analogy. What about the chemotherapy patients?
Well, they were already running on empty when they filled up.
And Alfie?
Somehow, the heavy water killed his tumour before it killed him. Damn it.
I'm not happy about this.
What?
This little adventure.
Oh, fuss, fuss, fuss. We can do this.
Very good, Hood. What exactly is it that we're looking for? I mean, how is this stuff actually made?
Either by ultrafiltration or electrolysis. Ultrafiltration gives the biggest yield, but you need a massive piece of machinery to process millions of tons of water, and they don't have that volume of water here, thank God. Otherwise, they'd have made enough heavy water to provide the world with plutonium until Armageddon.
Wait.
Rachel, do as they say! Alistair, what the hell?
What's going on?
Alistair, somebody is producing heavy water here.
I know. We've had this place under surveillance for the last 3 months, and I'm certain they know about you.
And this is what we call
sorry.
credible threat.
Right, come on.
But who are these people?
Get him.
Carson.
Okay, guys, outside.
Do you have any idea how badly the pair of you screwed things up for us?
Why didn't you just tell us what was going on?
Because we couldn't risk compromising our operation, which is something you haven't considered, D.S. Young.
And you've no idea who it is?
Oh, I have a very good idea.
You know there's a young boy missing, Alistair.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we people on it. There's not much hope. And after you...
Made things much worse. How did the heavy water get into the spring?
Well, there must have been a leak.
What about Dr. Williams?
I think she worked out what was going on and went up there to investigate. They caught her when she was taking samples from the fertilizer plant.
But she drowned in the reservoir.
We found this. At the plant, it was hers. The bastards must have forced her to write the suicide note on the way up there. We'll get the people responsible. One way or another, we'll get them. In the meantime, the most important thing is that you keep yourself safe.
Yes. Yes, of course. We'll leave at once. Rachel. Sorry we spoiled your operation. You keep me informed about the boy?
Yes, of course. Yes, young?
Sir.
They led us there, Rachel. The whole damn thing was a setup.
Why did they want us there?
No, the question is, where didn't they want us? The reservoir. They're trying to make us believe that Dr. Williams died at the fertilizer plant, but we know she died at the reservoir.
We need to know that. We're grateful that no one else.
I'm looking for a boy, an 11-year-old boy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know what is going on here, but a child has been kidnapped, and I'm holding you responsible until I get some answers.
A child?
Yes, a child, and you are an accomplice.
I swear to you, I don't know anything about that. I'm just an engineer on the hydro plant. I don't get involved in the other stuff.
What other stuff? This. This is it. Oh my God. This is where they make the heavy water. This entire place is an ultrafiltration plant. But you must have made enough here to create an entire nuclear arsenal. Heavy water. Alfie, where is that boy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't change, do you, Lee? You always have to have the last word.
I was taught his orders.
Sometimes the security of people like you depends on people like me doing things without being second-guessed by every bleeding-heart liberal guardian reader in the country.
But why here? You got all the plutonium you wanted, Aldermast. Who's this for? You're making this for someone.
Don't be ridiculous. The world's a dangerous enough place already. Why would we want to give another country nuclear capability?
Yeah, why indeed? But you're not going to give it, are you? Are you going to plant it? You're going to plant this in Iran or Syria or North Korea? Whatever other country you want to attack next.
You're a fantasist, but a dangerous fantasist.
I'm a fantasist that people will listen to.
What do you want?
I want Dr. Williams' name cleared, and I want that boy back. Immediately.
The security service does not kidnap children.
Oh, yes, I understand that. And you should understand that unless that boy is returned within an hour, that face of yours will be all over tomorrow morning's front pages.
You think you're so bloody clever, don't you?
No, I don't. I think I'm an idiot. I didn't trust Dr. Williams. I trusted you. The stupidest thing I ever did. And now a decent woman is dead.
what about the plutonium they've already made? Won't they still be able to use it?
No, they won't. Drake would never dare. They know that we'll take a sample of Alfie's blood and that we'll keep it somewhere very, very safe.
I know, but it's still just our word against theirs.
Alfie's blood cells will show traces of heavy water. Add to that the tumour markers and his DNA fingerprint. It'll be a pretty damning case of what went on here. No, Drake will never dare use it. At least there's the satisfaction of knowing that Dr. Williams... well, she didn't altogether die in vain.
Are you all right?
Mrs. Evans.
Oh, dear.
Thought I recognised you. How are you doing?
Not long to go now, dear. Be my turn quite soon.
Hey, don't you be saying things like that now.
Oh, don't you worry.
Never give up. Hey?
No, not now. I found something better.
Hey, Alfie.
Hiya.
So, believe it now, do you?
Believe what?
Spring. It's got healing powers. Healed Alfie.
Alfie's tumour was resolved with heavy water.
Does heavy water normally do that?
Well, usually it kills the patient before it kills the tumour. Alfie's must have been specially sensitive to it for some reason, that's all.
Well, that's your belief, Professor. You've got your beliefs, and I've got mine.
No, it's not my belief. It's science.
And that was the last in the series. Coming up tomorrow night here on ITV1, Detective Inspector Frost is called to investigate a string of vicious attacks. That's tomorrow at 8:30. With more detective drama on Saturday nights as Rosemary and Thyme are on the case. That's at 9:40.